Hello students, today we are going to study the digital multiplexing under the topic number 2, that is baseband digital transmission. So let us start with the concept of the multiplexing. Multiplexing is the process of combination of the multiple signals into single signal over a shared medium. These signals, if analog in nature, the process is called as an analog multiplexing. And if the digital signals are multiplexed, then it is called as a digital multiplexing. So multiplexing is nothing but the combination of the digital, combining the multiple signals into a single or a shared medium. So multiplexing was first developed in telephony. A number of signals were combined to send through a single cable. The process of multiplexing divides the communication channel into a several number of logical channels, allotting each one for different message, signal, or data stream to be transferred. The device that does the multiplexing can be called as a MUX. So MUX is basically developed for the telephony, and the concept behind the MUX is combine the signal and shared through a single channel or single cable, and the process of multiplexing divides the communication channel or allots the communication channel to the number of logical channels and allotting each one of the different message or data stream to be transferred, and these devices we can call it as a MUX. And the reverse process of MUX, that is extracting the number of channels from one, which is done at the receiver, is called as a demultiplexing. So extracting the number of channel, that is a many to one, that is nothing but the demux, and mux is nothing but the many to one. So reverse process in case of the demux, that is one to many. So extracting the number of channels from the one, that is one to many, that is nothing but the demux, and many to one is nothing but the mux. So this concept can be cleared by using this figure. So here mux, the number of channels from the 1, 2, 3 up to n is combined in the mux, and mux develops the one single channel, and this single channel shared with the same channel signal, shared with the same channel or transferred via the single cable. And in case of the demux, the one signal is applied to the demux, and the different number of channels can be extracted from the demux. So this is the concept of mux or multiplexing and demultiplexing. So let us discuss the definition of the multiplexing. So what is a multiplexing? Multiplexing or mixing can be defined as it is a way of transmitting the various signals over a media or a single line. A common kind of multiplexing merge the number of low speed signal to send over a high speed link, and or it is used to transmit the medium as well as its link with the number of devices, and it provides the both privacy and efficiency. So this is nothing but the mixing or multiplexing combines the different signals and sent over a media or single line, that is nothing but the multiplexing. And this entire process can be done using the device, namely mux or multiplexer, and the main function of this device is to uh, uh, give the n input lines for generating the single output line. Thus mux has many inputs and single output, so that is nothing but the mux. And a device is called as a demux or demultiplexer is used at the receiving end, which divides the signal into its component signal. So it has a single input and the number of outputs. So that is mux is nothing but the many to one, and demux is nothing but the one to many. So here the concept is clear, that is the signals, the many signals is combined into the mux, and the single signals can be transferred via the media or channel. So this is nothing but the communication channel. And in case of the demux, the single signal is applied to the demux, and many signals can be extracted from the demux. So let us discuss the types of the multiplexer. There are mainly two types of the multiplexers, namely analog and digital. They are further divided into the FDM, WDM. TDM, and this is nothing but the categorization of the multiplexer. That is, multiplexer can be divided into the analog and digital. Again, analog multiplexer is divided into two types, that is FDM, frequency division multiplexing, and WDM, that is wavelength division multiplexing. And digital TDM have two types, that is a synchronous TDM and asynchronous TDM. There are two more types we are going to check for the TDM. Analog multiplexing. The analog multiplexing technique involves the signals which are analog in nature. The analog signals are multiplexed according to their frequency, FDM, or a wavelength, WDM. Frequency division multiplexing. So let us discuss the first analog multiplexing, that is FDM, that is a frequency division multiplexing. In analog multiplexing, the most used technique is a frequency division multiplexing, or FDM. This technique uses the various frequencies to combine the streams of the data for sending them on a communication medium as a single signal. For example, the traditional television transmitter, which sends the number of channels through a single cable, uses the FDM technology. So this is the example of the FDM, where the traditional television transmitter, which sends the number of channels. So we are available the number of channels through a single cable, and which uses the FDM technology. So this is the signal first and signal 2. After these kind of the many signals is applied to the FDM mux, so the modulated signal will be like this. That is, this is the output of the FDM. So this is the FDM transmitter block diagram, where the different modulator is applied and the channels is applied. There is a linear mux or adder is there. So the number of the channels having the different frequencies added at the mixer or adder. It is modulated with the modulator and bandwidth equalizer, and it is fed through the composite signal is fed through the communication channel. So this is the typical block diagram of the FDM transmitter. In FDM, signals are generated by sending devices, and there are multiple input lines. From the block diagram, the channel 1 to the channel N are taken as the input channels. So channel 1 and channel N are taken as the input channel. These signals reach at the input of the corresponding modulator, where it receives the another signal from the crystal oscillator, is known as a carrier signal, and which is a high frequency, high amplitude signal. So second signal is nothing but the carrier signal with high frequency signal, high frequency, high amplitude signal. The carrier signal is modulated with the input signal. The different modulators uses the different carrier signals for the modulation. So different modulator uses the different carrier for the modulation. It should be noted that the frequency band of one modulator will not make any interference to the frequency band of the other modulator. So all modulators have the different band of frequencies. So they are not interfere with each other. So each of the modulator produces the corresponding modulated signal at their outputs. So each modulator produces the signal at each output. All the output of the modulators will be given to the adder or mixer circuit. From there it is given to the another modulator. So it is given to the another modulator for the further shift of the total bandwidth. Finally, this higher frequency signal will be transferred over the channel. So one modulator is fed to the another modulator, that signal, and it is fed to the channel. Finally, this higher frequency signal will be transmitted over the channel. So this is the FDM receiver, where receiver receives the composite signal. It amplifies and again fed to the demodulator, and after demodulator is fed to the bandpass filter, and again demodulator to separate out its original signal. So the signal 1 to the signal N will be recovered back. This block diagram shows the concept of the demodulation of the FDM signal at the receiving side, and the antenna receives the multiplexed modulated signal from the transmitter, and this signal will be weak at the receiver. Therefore, it is necessary to amplify the signal. This is done at the initial stage of the receiver. The amplified signal is then forwarded to the demodulator, and the output of demodulator will be given to the bandpass filter. So it is output of the demodulator given to the bandpass filter, which are well designed with the center frequencies of the carrier as used individually at the transmitting side. So the carrier for the bandpass filter uses the center frequency, which is already used at the modulator side or transmitter side, and thus the output of bandpass filter will be same as that of the originally modulated output of the corresponding modulator, and then we use the corresponding individual demodulators to recover the original signal. So individual demodulators is used to recover the original signal. So in this way the FDM receiver demux the signals, that is compose the signals is at the amplifier, which amplifies the signal, again is fed to the demodulator, which converts the different signals fed to the different signal to the bandpass filter. The bandpass filter use the another carrier frequency which is same as the modulator or transmitter side frequency. Again, these signals, individual signal is fed to the individual demodulator to generate or extract the original signal. So in this way the FDM and modulator or transmitter and receiver works. FDM is used in the telephone companies in 20th century in the long distance communication for multiplexing the number of voice signals using the system like a coaxial cable. For a small distance, low cost cables were utilized for the different systems such as the Bell system, K and N carrier. However, they don't let hug the huge bandwidths, and this is analog multiplexing is used to unit analog signal. This type of the multiplexing is useful when the link bandwidth is better than the united bandwidth of the transmitted signal. So in FDM, the signals are produced by transmitting the various modulated carrier frequencies, and then these are united into a solo signal which can be moved by the connection to hold the adapted signal. The carrier frequencies are divided by sufficient bandwidth, and these ranges of bandwidths are the channels through the different traveling signals, and this can be divided by the bandwidth which is not used. The best example of FDM comprises the signal transmission in TV and radio. So radio and TV uses the FDM kind of the multiplexing. Advantages of the FDM: a large number of signals or channel can be transmitted simultaneously. So this is the first advantage of the FDM. Demodulation of the FDM is easy. FDM does not need synchronization between its transmitter and the receiver for the proper operation. So FDM does not need the synchronization. And due to slow narrow band fading, the only single channels get affected. So these are the advantages of the FDM. Disadvantages: the communication channel must have the very large bandwidth. Intermodulation distortion takes place. In this, the intermodulation distortion taken place. A large number of modulators and filters are required for extracting the signals as well as modulating the signals. So, large number of modulators and filters are required. FDM suffers the problem of the crosstalk as if bandwidth overlapped. All the FDM channels get affected due to the wideband fading. Application of the FDM. FDM is used for the FM and AM radio broadcasting. FDM used in the television broadcasting, and first generation cellular telephones uses the FDM technology. Next, second analog multiplexing method is the WDM, that is wavelength division multiplexing. Wavelength division multiplexing is an analog technique in which many data streams of different wavelengths are transmitted in light spectrum. So in WDM, the many different wavelengths are transmitted in the light spectrum. If the wavelength increases, the frequency of the signal decreases. As wavelength increases, the frequency of the signal decreases. A prism which can turn the different wavelengths into a single line and can be used at the output of mux and the input of demux. For example, optical fiber communication uses the WDM technique to merge the different wavelength into a single light for the communication. So this is the prism example where the different wavelengths is transmitted through the prism and prism generates the single line, that is a glass prism. And if the sunlight is um, transmitted through the prism gives the different colors as output. So in fiber communication, the WDM, that is a wavelength division multiplexing, is one type of the technology. This is the most useful concept in high capacity communication system. At the end of transmitter section, the multiplexer is used to combine the signals, as well as at the end of receiver section, demultiplexer for dividing the signals separately. The main function of the WDM at the multiplexer for uniting the various light sources into a only light source, and this light can be changed into the numerous light source at the demultiplexer. And the main intention of the WDM is to utilize the high data rate capacity of fiber optic cable. The high data rate of this fiber optic cable is superior to the data rate of the metallic transmission cable. So fiber optic cable have the high data rates as compared to the metallic transmission cable. Theoretically, the WDM is similar to the FDM apart from the data transmission through the fiber optical cable. So FDM and WDM are same, but in FDM uses the coaxial cable or the cable, but in WDM it uses the fiber optic cable, for which multiplexing and demultiplexing occupies the optical signal. So this is about the transponder or mux. These are the different light sources, that is TP1 to TP4. It fed the different light signals to the mux, and light signals combines these signals and fed to the over the fiber optic cable, and at the demux these all signals are combined, all signals are extracted to the different light sources at the transponder. So this is the prism, reflection of the prism. Different light sources uh, uh, reflects its lights to the prism. So prism combines these lights and fed the output, single output, and at the receiver, if sunlight extract to the prism, gives the different colors of the light. So this is nothing but the WDM, that is a wavelength division multiplexing. Advantages of the WDM. In WDM, full duplex transmission is possible. It is easier to reconfigure. Optical components are more reliable and provide the higher bandwidth. Provide the high security and faster access to the new channel, because optical have the high speed data, low cost and easy system expansion, and simultaneous transmission of the various signals. So these are the advantages of the WDM because it uses the fiber optical cable. Disadvantages of the WDM. Scalability is concerned as optical line transmission OFT. Optical line transmission has to have a transmitter array with one transmitter for each optical network unit. So it requires the one transmitter for each optical network unit. Adding a ONU, new optical network unit, could be a problem unless the transmitter were provisioned in advance. Each optical network unit must have the wavelength specific laser. The second disadvantage is the cost of the system increases because it uses the optical components. Third disadvantage is inefficiency in the bandwidth utilization, difficulty in the wavelength tuning. So wavelength tuning is very difficult, and difficulty in the cascade topology. So these are the some disadvantages of the WDM. Now turn to the digital multiplexing. Up to this, the analog multiplexer and demultiplexer we are going already studied, where the analog signals are multiplexed and extracted at the demultiplex. Now the era is the digital. So digital multiplexing is essential to study for the mux and demux. The term digital represents the discrete bit of the information. Hence, the available data is in the form of the frames or packets which are discrete. So, this digital multiplexing have the type, that is a time division multiplexing, TDM. In TDM, the time frame is divided into the different slot. This technique is used to transmit the signal over a single communication channel by allotting the one slot for each message of all types of the TDM. And the main ones are the synchronous and asynchronous TDM. So in TDM, the time frame, total time is divided into the different slot, and this technique is used to transmit the signal over a single communication channel by allotting the one slot and each message of all types of the TDM. The main ones are the synchronous and asynchronous TDM. The time division multiplexing or TDM is one kind of the method for transmitting the signal over a channel of a particular communication with separating the time edges into the time slot, into the slot. Like the single slot is used for each message signal. So this is the first message, this is the second time slot. So these two slots can be combined here. The TDM is mainly used for the analog and digital signals, in which several channels with low speed are multiplexed into the high speed channels used for the transmission. Depending on the time, every low speed channel will be assigned to an exact position, whichever it works in the mode of the synchronized. Both the ends of mux and demux are synchronized timely, so it is necessary for the TDM, and at the same time switched towards the next channel. So types of the TDM, that is there are four types of the TDM, that is synchronous TDM, asynchronous TDM, interleaving TDM, and statistical TDM. Synchronous TDM. In synchronous TDM is very useful in both analog and digital signal. In this type of the TDM, the connection of the input is allied to the frame. For example, if there are n connection in the frame, then the frame will be separated into the n time slots, and for every unit, each slot is assigned to every input line. In the sampling of the synchronous TDM, the speed of the similar for every signal, as well as this sampling needs the clock signal at the both ends of the sender and receiver. So for the sampling of the TDM, it requires the synchronizing clock at the transmitter side as well as receiver side. And this type of the TDM, the multiplexer assigns the similar slot for each device at every time. In synchronous TDM, slots are arranged into the round robin manner. That is, if there are n sources, then the single frame consists of n time slots. At each time slot is dedicated to exactly one source for carrying data from corresponding input. Each source plays its data to the link only when corresponding slot arrives. So its corresponding slot arrives, then source plays its data. In synchronous TDM, if a device does not have data to send, then its time slot remains empty, and the transmission of the data with synchronous TDM as shown in figure. So suppose these are the different sources generates the different messages. So MUX allocates the different time slots. So in first slot, in first frame, so this data is can be placed. Second, first placed, this data is placed. Second, in second frame this data is placed. In third frame this data is placed, and in fourth time slot this data is placed. So in similar way, so these data are placed. So all sources sends its first bits to the frame 1. sends the second frame in the frame bits in second frame. If the data is not sent by the source or placed by the source, this place will be the empty. Similar way, in synchronous stadium, if a particular terminal has no data to transmit at a particular time period, then the corresponding slot in the frame is wasted or empty slot will be transmitted. Suppose the in frame number 4 there is a no data is available at the second and third source, so the data will be empty. It dynamically allocates the time slot on the demand to separate the input channel and saving the channel capacity. Hence, the time slots are flexible and the total capacity of the input lines can be greater than the link capacity of the channel. In synchronous stadium, if there are n input lines, there must be n time slot. But in case of the asynchronous stadium, if we have n input lines, then the frame may contain less than n slots. Here, the number of slots in the frame is based on the statistical analysis of the number of input lines and the transmission of the data with asynchronous stadium as shown in figure. So, this is the asynchronous stadium. So, disadvantages: the channel capacity cannot be fully utilized when the some source do not want to send the data. The channel capacity of the transmission link must be higher than the total capacity of the lines, and it is a very complex to implement. So this is the disadvantages of the synchronous stadium. Asynchronous stadium. In asynchronous stadium, the different signals and the rate of the sampling is also different, and it doesn't need the general clock. So general clock is not needed for as in case of the synchronization TDM. If the device has nothing for the transmitting, then the time slot is assigned to a new device. The device of the commutator, otherwise decommutator, is not easy and the bandwidth is low for this type of the multiplexing, and it is applicable for not synchronous transmit from the network. Disadvantages: the frames have the different size and the output slot in synchronous TDM is totally occupied by the data. In statistical TDM, slots need to carry the data as well as the address of the destination, and it requires the buffer and address information is needed as there is no separate slot is assigned for each user. Next type is the interleaving TDM. The interleaving in TDM can be imagined like two speedy rotary switches on the multiplexing and demultiplexing surface. These switches can be rotated and synchronized in the reverse direction. One switch releases at the surface of the multiplexer ahead a connection, then it has a chance of sending unit into the line. Similarly, one switch releases at the surface of demultiplexer ahead of the connection a chance to receiving the unit from the line, and this procedure is nothing but the interleaving. Statistical TDM. In statistical TDM is applicable to transmit the different types of the data simultaneously across the single cable. This is frequently used to handle the data being transmitted through the network, LAN or WAN. The transmission of the data can be done from the input devices which are connected to the network like a computer, fax machine, printers, etc. In statistical TDM can be used in the setting of the telephony switchboards to control the calls. This type of the multiplexing is comparable to dynamic bandwidth distribution, and the communication is separated into the random data stream number. Application: overall multiplexing, it uses in analog broadcasting, it uses in digital broadcasting, telephony, video processing and telegraphy. Thank you.